up, Duke? My name is Kaiser McCly, and I am the current Duke Student Government President. This is DSG's very first State of the Union address, where we will bring to you information on what we've accomplished this year and what we hope to accomplish for the rest of the year. So the first thing I want to let you know about is something exciting. We are trying to spend down the $200,000 Duke Student Government surplus with an explicit goal of trying to spend at least $100,000 this year on capital expenditures that can possibly affect as many Duke students as possible. If you have any ideas on how you'd like that money to be spent, please email brian.hopkins@duke.edu to let us know how you want us to spend your money.
Some things I've done this year include changing sexual misconduct policy in order to include amnesty policy, working on a plan to phase out the use of neonicotinoids, a harmful pesticide on our campus, serving as president of the Senate, enforcing parliamentary procedures, and working on an initiative to mitigate the harmful effects of sexual assault on our last day of classes, as well as archiving our institutional history in DSG and the Rubenstein Library. Thank you.
This year we're working on two things. One is improving auditing and transparency, so we can actually see how many people are attending the events that we fund. And two is working on the annual budget guidelines to better help groups plan their events for the year.
My main focuses have been on reforming the Young Trustee Nominating Committee process, and it ended up being really successful. We had a much better kind of run and more transparent process. In addition to that, I've done a lot of kind of Senate unity things. We did a Senate retreat. We've done a lot of, the DSG Executive Board has done a retreat itself. So we really feel like we've come together as a more cohesive unit this year than we have been in past years.
For the last year, the Academic Affairs Committee has been working on bridging intellectual and social spaces on campus. So we've done smaller initiatives like the Battle of the Brains, redesigning ACES, and trying to create an undergrad-grad mentorship program. We also created the brand new housing option at Duke called the Living Learning Community, and we've been intimately involved in the curriculum review, so expanding pass-fail and also creating Duke 101, which is a new diversity and cultural competency class for all first years. In the future, we'll be working on a lot of new cool things like reorientation, which is going to be a new orientation program for juniors who aren't going abroad, and programs like that.
This semester, we're working to increase accessibility to counseling and psychological services through online registration. We're also partnering with companies like Uber or Lyft to give students easier transportation around campus. Finally, we're working closely with PTS to ensure equitable and transparent policies for parking for students.
Firstly, when the West Union opens fully in June, you'll see a cool art project called The Art of Science that is taking a bunch of basically art submitted from around campus and then combining it into really cool exhibits in the West Union. You'll see, I'm sure you've seen on Facebook, the post for Pitch a Project, which is a really cool initiative we're starting this year to let students come up with ideas they want to implement and then possibly get funding to implement them from the DSG surplus. And then finally, we're working to get a mural wall on West Campus, and that should hopefully be up pretty soon.
This year we've worked on gender neutralizing all pronouns on student forms and getting gender neutral bathrooms. We've lobbied for a sexual health resource center teaching a house course about it. We've done mental health awareness and worked on CAPS reform. We've done financial aid reform. We're doing a full comprehensive look at orientation week, and we're introducing cultural competency programs, trainings for students and student leaders, as well as for incoming students like alcohol.edu.
So this year, we were successful in getting an on-campus voting site at the Friedman Center for the primary, and are looking forward to establishing one for the general election in November. We registered about 500 students on East Campus, and we also hosted a policy meeting at the beginning of the year to do an overview of DSG's agenda and got some incredible feedback moving forward. And then looking forward to next year, we're working on establishing a Durham Focus program, establishing a Duke Day of Service to engage with the Durham community, and then lastly, reforming the Knock and Talk program to engage with seniors on campus.
This semester, we've created the Gatekeeper organization to ensure tailgate success. In order to allow more events to happen on campus, we tried to educate student government by interviewing a decade's worth of student government presidents, RAs, administrators, reading every report we can find. What we found is that we're far stricter than our peer institutions and versus the past. We have about 3 times the number of cases that we did 10 years ago. And so we're going to continue working on that to free up campus a little bit more.
Hello, Duke. This year, the Committee for Residential Life has enacted several new changes on campus. First and foremost, we revamped RGAC to assess selective living groups on this campus. In addition, we created a new process for new selective living groups to come onto this campus. In terms of independent housing, we worked with independent houses to pair professors with independent houses to create a sort of House Fellows program. In addition, we created a program called Blue Devil Status, through which independent houses can apply for more money for their independent houses to host new events. Finally, and most importantly, we dealt with the 30-10 requirement for selective living groups, such that seniors no longer have to live in section provided that they meet the 20/exec follow-up rule. Anyway, that's residential life.
Thank you so much for watching the Duke Student Government State of the Union Address. Remember, I'm always available by email, so feel free to let me know if you have any suggestions on how we can better represent you.
I'm so ready.
We'll record it, and then like we're gonna pretend.
Okay,
like
when this is not the real thing.
Because we're taking pressure.
Yes, okay.
Wait, now I forgot everything I'm gonna say.
Go.
Hello, Duke. Hello, Duke. Hello, Duke.
First name, last name, just first name, just last name.
Go. Go.
Oh, we started?
Yeah.
You're killing me, J-Money. Okay.